So hello everyone, it's Rose Gold and I'm back again with another video. Today's topic is going to be a little more on the real side because I wanted to talk about this for a very long time, basically my whole life. So this is my story, and I feel like as I've been growing up, people felt like it was their responsibility to tell my story as if it was something that was their business to tell. But I'm here to talk about it because this is my story and I want to share it, and I want to be the one to tell my story. Okay, so there's a lot of people that'll meet you in life and they'll get close to you. They'll learn all the things about you, and then they'll go and tell people about your story, things that happen to you, personal things that you entrusted them with. But it's not a secret. When you tell somebody and they go into other rooms and they tell your story as if it's their own story, it's a violation of trust. It's a violation of privacy. And I feel like this is something that over the span of all my lifetime, I feel like I should tell because I want to get it off my chest. It's something that I've been sitting with since I was a child. It's a truth that I've known since I was a baby. And I want the world to know, like, I'm still here. And so I'm the product of a fetish. And when things didn't work out between my mom and my dad, he took it out on me. He took it out on my brother and my siblings. And he would beat us to the point where there would be scars. We had scars all over the backside of our bodies. And every time I would go to hang out with my dad or spend the summer with my dad, he would be hopping from hotel room to hotel room. And so I've seen a lot of things in these hotel rooms. There was one time where he went to work, he left us there for 8+ hours and all alone in a hotel room when I was 4 or 5 years old with my brother. And so one day there was a time where I got caught with a piece of glass, and it kind of just like cut into my skin a little bit. And so I watched it drip down my body, and I stood in a puddle of it. And I stood in the mirror watching it happen, and nobody was around to make sure I was okay. Nobody checked on us. Nobody was there for us. We were there to fend for ourselves, and we were only 5 and 6 years old. And there were a lot of situations where I've seen a lot of things happen to people and even to myself where there was a lot of violence. And there were many times where I was in the bathroom on the floor and nobody checked on me. Nobody made sure I was okay. And so my father just discarded us. He took out his anger on us as children. He tore us apart. And even to this day, he will never admit that he did these things. And if you go up to him and ask, he will pretend like it never happened. And that's the type of thing that you have to understand, is that when somebody that is supposed to protect you is actually the one that is attacking you, that is basically just the one that is harming you, the one that's causing you the most harm. I had to pay for that with my life. I had to pay for that with the emotional damage that happened as a result of that. And so I had to pay out of my pocket for hospital expenses and things that I never signed up for. Let's just put it this way. I was set up from birth for failure. I was set up from birth to lose something special to me, lose a part of myself, lose the shine that I should not be having today. And the thing is, I never allowed this to change who I was as a person. And because of the way that I look, the way that I carry myself, people will come into my life and they'll think that I'm just naive, or that I won't speak on what's really happening, and they can get away with doing things to me that they wouldn't get away with doing to other people. And so now I'm going to speak about it because I want it to stop. I want people to not look at me as somebody that's just prey. See, I've been through things that most people would fold under. I've been through things that will cause people to end up homeless on the streets, strung out, lost. But I'm here today. And so when people see me and they don't know my story, they say, oh, she's always had it easy. She doesn't deserve that. She doesn't need that. What does she have that I don't have? It's the struggle. It's the story behind what happened to that person that God is blessing them. for the things that I've been through as a child that no child should ever go through. And this has been something that's been very hard for me to open up about, even though it's literally the reason why I am the way I am, is because I was beaten as a child to the point where I had scars all over my body. And so people told me, and they grew up telling me, oh, get over it, like nobody cares, it's your fault for these things happening to you. It was my fault because my parents split up, and so they decided to take the anger out on me. They decided to take their anger and their pain and their shame and pin it all on me and make it seem like I'm the one that was doing something wrong, when in reality I was just a child growing up, and I was just innocent. I was doing what I knew how to do best, which is be myself. And for some reason that was always an issue around people that should be supporting me, should be protecting me, and I never got the justice. People told me just give up on it. And as a child, I feel like the system failed me. I feel like people knew, and there were signs that something wasn't right here, and so people allowed it to happen. People knew that it was happening, and people knew what I went through, and they decided to continue to add to it to make it worse, because they saw me as someone that was just easy prey, that wouldn't speak up about these things. Because who am I? I'm just some child. And so I've been through even more things as a result of that. I've lived in basements, on the concrete floor. There was a point where I didn't even have a bed. I slept on a mattress on the floor, and every time it rained, the mattress would get moldy and I would have to sleep on it. I slept on the box spring of a bed without the mattress. There were times where I slept with bugs. I slept with the snakes, the lizards, the bats, the birds, the crickets, the ants, and I would get ate up by all of these things, because at one point in my life, all I had was hand-me-downs. I only had like the shirt on my back. As a child, my childhood was stolen from me. I had to spend my childhood in survival mode without even realizing it, because I thought it was normal to go through those things. I thought that this was normal. Like, I thought that everybody went through this. And so when I tell people my story, they look at me in shock, because they don't know what to say, right? They have no idea what to say, because they spent their lives being loved by their parents and having a normal childhood, having a room, having things that they could call their own. But me, I had to share. I had to split like food. I had to sleep on the floor. I had to do things where it would make the average person fold and turn into someone who would just do anything. And so I didn't do that. I didn't fold. And even today, I'm not somebody who has turned bitter or turned cold towards people as a result of the things that I've been through. And so there's an excuse for everything. There's a lot of people that will blame the reason why they are who they are on the things that have happened to them, and that's why they do the things they do. But I'm not like that, and I'm living proof that you don't have to let your past define you. You don't have to let the things that happened to you as a child or that happened to you growing up control who you are as a person, control your outcome. And those people who don't take accountability for the things that they've been through, or take accountability for their own actions, they will always blame other people for things that they did themselves. Those are the kind of people that will never move forward in life. They will always stay the same. They will always be in the same position in life, and they will never move forward because they won't take accountability for their own actions. And that's somebody that I grew up with that was supposed to protect me, who was actually harming me, right? In the most detrimental way, because this person tried to set me up so that I'd either end up in a really bad position, which is behind bars or something like that, just locked up in a cage. And I'm not that kind of person. I've grown up and I've been so sweet and so kind to people, and people just saw that as something to take advantage of. But they don't know the truth about what I've been through. They don't understand how high of a pain tolerance I have because of the things that I've been through. So I've experienced a lot of pain, and physical pain, emotional pain, all of it. And it didn't make me into a cold person. And so that is why I'm being blessed today to have a family and to have a partner who loves me, who understands my story, who supports me, and who protects me like I should have been protected as a child. And he makes me feel so comfortable and so safe. And so when I see people, they think that it's easy to just get one over on me, I just laugh, because after everything I've been through in life, you thinking that you can come into my life and like think that you're bringing something new to the table is just really hilarious to me. It's honestly laughable because of the things I've already been through. I thought those things were normal, but they're actually not, and most people don't go through those things. And that's why I spent my life growing up as an outsider, watching all the kids play together, watching them have fun and talk about their stories of what they did over the summer while I was spending my childhood in survival mode. I'm going to school and I'm hearing all the stories of all the little kids telling their story about how they went to Italy and how they went to France with their parents and how they had such a good time and they bought a house or they bought a car, and I was just there in survival mode. And I felt like most people didn't understand me because of the pain that I went through, the things I was going through that I couldn't even put into words. And so people will make it seem like I'm weird or I'm different or I don't fit in. And it's true, because I've never gone through the same things that people went through. They haven't experienced the level of struggle that I experienced growing up. And so I feel like the ones who truly understand that are going to be the ones who really matter to me, because they understand where we're coming from and why things make us the way we are, why we behave the way that we do, why we treat people the way that we treat people. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to let that affect your life. You don't have to let it change who you are as a person. You don't have to let it make your heart go cold, because that's what the enemy wants, is they want you to turn cold so that you do something that is untakebackable. Like, you can't take it back, you know what I'm saying? And you end up in a situation that it just steals your shine, it steals your joy, it makes sure that you never succeed in life, that you never see the things in life that you want to see as a child, that your dreams never come into fruition. Because the most sad part about it is that was somebody that literally birthed me, that didn't want me to succeed, that didn't want me to be happy, that didn't want me to have a family, to grow up, to be successful. And so it's really a systematic thing that happens to very few select people. Most people aren't going to understand what I went through. And most people are going to see me as the way that I carry myself. I'm sweet, I'm kind. So they look at me as somebody that, oh, she won't do anything. She won't speak up about this. She won't do anything about this. I can get away with this and this and this and do this. And so today is the day that I take back my power, because I deserve so much more, and I feel like I was failed as a child. I feel like nobody cared. I was told that nobody cared. Get over it. Like, it doesn't matter. And to the point where all of this was swept under the rug. I have scars from these things that happened to me that will never, ever, ever go away. And so I do my best to heal, and I've spent my life dedicated to healing those wounds that were caused to me by people that should have protected me as a child. And honestly, I don't care who hears this story, because it's been told so many times behind my back in rooms that I was never in, by people who had no business telling my story. And so I don't want this narrative to keep going on around me, the stigma that people are trying to build around me to try and control me and keep me contained, because this is the truth of my story, and I should be able to tell my story without being made to feel guilty, without being made to feel ashamed, because I'm not ashamed, and why should I be ashamed for something that happened to me? And I just want to speak my truth, because this is my truth, and I want to be free. I want to live the life that I deserve to live, because every time I do something good for someone, they just turn around and betray me. They think it's funny. They think it's a game. And I already spent my life being made fun of as a child by people who had no idea what I was going through at the time. And so this is me. And it's going to be hard for a lot of people to hear, but I'm going to speak my truth, because I'm tired of people thinking that they can get away with things when it comes to me. And this is real life things that who never deserved it to begin with. And so he was able to just throw me away and never worry about me. He was never there throughout my childhood. He never supported me throughout my childhood, never paid child support, never supported us at all, and just moved on and started a whole new family. And this is a typical story and life's line of a narcissist. And so that's why I'm so expertly knowledgeable in how people behave, their behavior when it comes to certain things. So now that I got that off my chest, I feel so much better. I just feel like people should not allow their past to dictate who they are as a person. And even though people can go through things that are very life-changing, very difficult, it doesn't have to make you bitter. It doesn't have to make you turn into a hateful person where you just take your bitterness out on other people and try to pin your shame and your guilt on other people who don't deserve it. Because I've been that person where people just throw their actions on me, and I did nothing wrong. I could be completely unrelated to a situation and they'll be like, oh, she did it, she did this, she did that, and the whole time it was never the problem. And I don't need to prove that to anyone, and I shouldn't have to prove that to anyone. Most people will hear stories about me and just believe them without ever coming to me to ask me if that was really the case. Because people are looking for a reason to pin the blame on people, pin their shame and their guilt on other people who don't deserve it, who are only kind, who are only loving to them, despite the things that they've been through. And I think that that's where the real strength is coming from, because people underestimate how being kind is actually a symbol of strength. It's actually a sign of strength, because you don't know what that person went through that made them so kind. You don't know what that person goes through. But I'm somebody that's very aware of my surroundings. I've had to live my life in survival mode. I've had to be hyper vigilant around people. I've had to do all of those things, walk on eggshells. I lived in a long time like this. I've lived like my nervous system was just like on edge all the time with everyone. And so God will see your pain and God will see your struggles. And the tears that you cry, God will reward you for every tear you cry. God sees your pain. He sees your struggle, even if nobody else does, even if people don't stand up for you, even if people don't defend you, and they know what's happening to you and they watch you go through it and they don't help you. They laugh at you, they make fun of you, they even add to it if they can to keep it going. Like, they want to keep it going. They want it to continue because they want somebody to take accountability for their pain and their struggles and their things that they've done in their life that caused them to end up where they are. And so instead of taking accountability for their own actions, they're going to pin it on somebody else. And I'm just going to speak up about it because I feel like it needs to be said that I am not somebody that is just like that type of person that people want to portray other people out to be. I am who I am, and I've helped many people. I've helped so many people, and I don't even have to say what I've done for other people because it's not about what I've done. And people will always take that as a way to pull you down, right? I've helped people. I've given people my last. I've given people the shirt off my back. I've helped people when they were almost about to fall. I've helped people in situations where they really needed the help and they turned around and betrayed me all of the time, every time. And so I learned to just keep to myself. And so I'm just going to come up here and just talk about the things that I'm going through, because you're either going to love me or going to hate me, because I reflect something back to you that you feel that you lack within yourself. And that's not my problem. And that's not something that I should be made to feel ashamed of. And that shouldn't be something that I should be shamed into silence. People have tried to steal my voice. They've tried to steal my ability to speak up for myself, my ability to stand up for myself and defend myself, as if I was the one in the wrong, as if I'm the one that's hurting other people by telling my truth and the things that have happened to me. So I want to protect myself. I'm tired of people doing things to me. I'm tired of people trying to like do things to me, say things about me that are not true. And I've always been somebody of integrity. I've always been somebody who has morals, values, and standards, because I had to raise myself. And I was taught on the guise of don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you, right? But that's really not the case. Even if you don't do something that you wouldn't want done to you, people will still get away with it and still try to do it anyway. So it's just a matter of being discerning. It's a matter of being kind to yourself and pouring into yourself the love that you wish that other people would have given to you or that they deprived you of growing up. Give that to yourself, okay? You deserve it, and you owe it to yourself to love yourself the way that other people should have loved you. And so this is your reminder to never go cold, never seek vengeance, never seek revenge on people who you feel like wronged you in life, because God is going to deal with them one way or another, and it has nothing to do with you. And when that happens, you just want to be as far away as possible from these people so that their karma doesn't affect you. So I know this is a lot to get off my chest, but I definitely wanted to get it out there because it's already no secret that things that I've been through, people have already ran around telling my story as if it was their business to tell. So I might as well speak it myself and let the chips fall where they may. So if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, definitely give a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye!